good, 99 Dream family? We back at it, episode 40 of the 99 Dream Journey. My name is Julian Taliaferro. You already know we coming again with another weekly business update, lessons for the week, and topic for the day, which is mission slash grace. So I'm gonna just jump right into this episode, starting with the quote for this week, which is the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. And this is a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. And when I hear this quote, what it signifies to me is just that there is a choice, right? You have a choice to be great. You have a choice to be that person who you think of when you see yourself 10 years down the line. And you have to make that decision to become it, and then that'll become your destiny, right? So I think it's that simple, right? It's a choice. So again, the quote is the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be, from Ralph Waldo Emerson. And now I can get to my business update. So coming into this week, the only thing that I had for my next steps was just to get into a rhythm and try to find a groove in terms of my schedule and how I'm going to kind of structure me moving about in San Antonio. And I felt like I did that. In terms of my schedule, one of the big things for me is still staying active and working on my entrepreneurship. So I think that I'm going to start working out in the morning and then try to work on my entrepreneurship, once I get back from work. And one of the priorities is also for me to still fully engross in entrepreneurship, um, you know, and what that means for me is to try to listen to podcasts, through my transit. Whether I'm going to work, going to the gym, anywhere I go, I still have to try to keep back on my reading. So try to find time for that. And I think it might be, when I go to lunch or when I come back home and I'm winding down for bed, and try to find time to read in those times as well. So I think that's, partly me trying to find my rhythm, and I think that's how it's gonna look and how it's gonna go. And then another thing that I want to figure out is my weekends. So I'm not sure how I want to structure that. I know the weekends are going to be big for me when it comes to me putting in, more time and can really, dive a little bit deeper in terms of, the work. But I don't really know how I want that to look yet, and time will reveal that. But that's my business update. Nothing too much on the business itself, but more so on figuring out myself so I can, have a business update. And it's just about, for me, having physical plans and actual guideposts. Like I said, I think 2 episodes back, that's important, for me, so I can actually make sure I stay on track. So this week I have next steps in my actual business for me to work on. So that's my business update. And I can get into my lesson for the week. And I only have one of them. And I got this lesson when I was at work. And what had happened is that it's the first week. So I'm going through all this training and orientation for my role. And I was learning about one of the processes where we update the team every single day on the status of a project. And I had asked the question to my coworker who was explaining this process, and what he told me when I had asked the question of what do we do when there isn't any update, because we're supposed to update the team every day. What do we do when there's no update and nothing has changed? And what he told me is that there is always something to update. There shouldn't be a situation when nothing is moving forward. So for me, I took that and I said, oh, okay. It's probably the same thing with me and my entrepreneurship. And I really need to internalize that every single day there should be something moving forward. Every night I should have something to update myself on in terms of my steps put forward and things like that. So there should always be something going on. And if there is a day when there isn't any update, there should either be a really good reason or there's something wrong. So that's my lesson for the week. Just internalizing that, every day there should be an update. And as I was moving these past couple weeks, I kind of fell into that where there wasn't any update, and I wasn't putting in that work every single day, right? So I need to flip that switch back on and get it to where there is an update, and I'm working and building to something every single day. So that's the lesson. Now I can get into my topic, which is mission slash grace. So The reason is because I want to talk about two things. The first one is losing sight of the mission, and the second one is giving myself too much grace. And for me, it's not that you ever lose sight or like forget about the mission. I still have my dreams. I still have my 99 dream. But I feel in life naturally, you can just sometimes get sidetracked. So I was thinking about an analogy last night when I was laying down about to go to sleep. And it's the best I can kind of think of. But say the mission is going to bed, right? Say the mission is going to sleep, but you have all these other tasks that you need to do before you go to sleep. So that may be cleaning your house, that may be cooking for the week, cooking for tomorrow. And it's not that you forgot about sleeping. It's just that you need to deal with what's in front of you first. And that can kind of take your mind off of the sleep. So whether it is cleaning the house or cooking, it delays the sleep and you don't have a chance to think about sleep until you're done your task. So this is kind of what happened to me, especially this week when I was going to work, and whether it was me going to my 9 to 5 job or trying to get my rhythm and trying to get my apartment together, I felt that I was somewhat losing sight of the mission in the sense that it wasn't in the forefront. And of course, or I still have my dream. I still think about it every day. But if I'm at work and I'm trying to, do an operation, or just I'm at my job, I can't think about my entrepreneurship stuff because I'm thinking about what's in front of me. So for me, it was somewhat scary, honestly, because I could feel myself losing sight of the mission, or maybe it's not losing sight, but in certain times of my day, it wasn't in the forefront. And I just felt like it was a little bit more extreme for me because I wasn't, working on my startup when I came back from home, right? Because when I came back from work and I came home, I was trying to build the apartment, right? So I didn't get a chance to do my entrepreneurship stuff. And in the sense that it was in the back burner, it was scary because I could see alternate reality, which was so easy to come into fruition if I didn't put the right steps forward and I didn't actually, start working on my business, start working on my entrepreneurships and things like that. So, in a sense, I was giving myself too much grace to where when I came home, it wasn't on the forefront. And of course, it somewhat makes sense to give myself grace as I was moving, but it comes to a point where it was too much. And at the end of the day, I had to realize that I could still be doing things, right? And that I just wasn't doing enough. And I think, that's okay, to have that realization. Honestly, I'm glad that I had it, because that just means that I could be doing more, right, which you always could be. So for me, I've been off my game a little bit, these past couple of weeks, for a reason, but I I didn't like how I felt because I could see myself losing sight. And then as my 9 to 5 came on, it just kind of doubled on more. So now to not lose sight of the mission and to not give myself too much grace, now that I have my schedule and I'm in my rhythm, when I come home from work, I can start dedicating time back to building my startup and get back to working on it every day. And now that I'm gonna get back right, it starts with setting clear goals. And for my next steps are just catching back on the program, that 0 to 1 program that I'm in for my startup. Because I was moving, I kind of fell behind. So I'm gonna start getting catch back up on that. And then also, when it comes to my product that I still have from the Amazon FBA stuff, I have to make the list of the sites that I'm going to start listing it on, and then try to find, the stores in San Antonio that I could maybe sell to. So that's it for this episode. All right, let's get it, y'all. Going to achieve your 99 dream. And it's 99 dream because you are going to achieve your dream. And it would be 100%, but nothing is perfect. So you're going to achieve 99% of that. And let's go and let's get it.